Greetings and salutations, fellow pilots. I am excited in this video to bring you the XP-58 Chain Lightning, an American Tier VIII heavy fighter. This aircraft has 4 37mm cannons that do 200 damage per second. They do have a low rate of fire of 120 rounds per minute and about a medium effective firing range of 560 meters. One of the great features of this aircraft is that it does have a rear turret, which is unusual for heavy fighters. So that's one of its strong defensive measures that can help increase this aircraft's survivability. To augment the turret, I have equipped the upgrade of turret stabilization, which increases by 15% its effective firing range. This aircraft has high airspeed and a long-lasting boost, 30 seconds to be precise. To accentuate that strength, I have equipped the upgrades of Engine Tuning 3, which increases engine power by 5%, and improved Aircraft Polish 3, which increases the aircraft's maximum speed by 5%. Also, it increases acceleration in a dive by 25%. In terms of pilot skills, along the theme of increasing the aircraft's airspeed and strength, I have equipped Engine Guru 1 and Engine Guru 2, which collectively and cumulatively increase the aircraft's speed and thrust by 5%, enhancing the effects of our aircraft polish as well as our engine tuning. I have equipped Aerodynamics Expert. For our rear gunner, I don't have many American planes that have a rear gunner. In fact, this is the only one. So I have not developed any significant points on an American rear gunner. I have been able to equip, though, armor, which increases the burst length of our turret by 20%. Once I have gotten additional skill points, my intention would be to select Ballistics Expert, which increases the firing range of our turret by 15% and also enhances our turret stabilization upgrade by 20%. From there, I would pick Precision Gunner, which concentrates fire on the most vulnerable sections of an enemy aircraft. Those combined skills will significantly increase the potency of our turret defense and will be a real threat to other aircraft that may be trying to get on our tail. I have gone with Universal Ammunition, which has high critical chance and medium chance of fire. I do like to have that chance of fire because, this being an aircraft that, as stated, is ineffective in maneuvering combat, many times the target is going to go out of our guns, and it's nice to have that other aircraft burning while we're trying to realign to shoot at it again. In terms of consumables, this aircraft has good survivability, but it has large dimensions, so it's a nice big fat target up there in the sky. Wings and tail and such are all the more vulnerable. Therefore, I have equipped Control Surface Auto Trim, which restores controllability to wings and tail. I've also equipped Automatic Engine Restarter, which repairs a damaged engine because this aircraft is indicated as having vulnerable engines, and our engines are our lifeblood for this plane, both tactically speaking in terms of aggression as well as defensively. One of the strengths of this aircraft, which augments its high airspeed, is the long-lasting 30-second boost that I mentioned previously. To further augment that strength, I have gone with what I think is a must for just about any heavy fighter, and that is engine cooling, which once you've depleted the boost, you can then activate engine cooling and you're back up 70% of your full boost. So that's a fantastic skill and it's just really critical. In terms of the aircraft specifications, the aircraft is a high climber, operates well at high altitude. Its optimum altitude is 2,500 meters. Its stall speed is 200 kilometers per hour, which is pretty high. It is a big aircraft, so it's not surprising that it might have a somewhat high stall speed. Its top speed at best altitude is 780 kilometers per hour. Average time to turn 360 degrees, 13 seconds. So, folks, you could iron your shirt for work in the time it takes to turn this aircraft. So you want to avoid any type of turning dogfight as much as you possibly can. If you have an enemy aircraft that is good at turning, like a nimble fighter, you want to make a pass at it and then get as much distance as you can, flip around, make a go at it again, try to knock it out, rinse and repeat if you don't. Its optimum airspeed is 615 kilometers per hour, so that's very good. Its rate of climb is 72 meters per second. In terms of paint schemes, this is summer, winter, desert, and marine. Now, slotting the right paint scheme with the correct theater increases its concealment by 10%. So that's pretty handy. Now, if you don't care about that extra 10% concealment, then you could go with this paint scheme, which is pretty fantastic. How awesome is that? Okay, so now what we are going to do is jump over to World of Warplanes website and use their fantastic compare aircraft tool to compare the Chain Lightning to other Tier 8 heavy fighters. So you can decide, hey, is this an aircraft that I want to spend my XP on? So let's do that now. Alright, so we are here on World of Warplanes website using their compare aircraft tool. I've lined up the various Tier 8 heavy fighters to compare against the Chain Lightning, so let's get started. First of all, we have the Westland P-1056, which I recently reviewed. We also have the Chancevalt XF-5U Pancake, which I also recently reviewed. In terms of gun armaments, the P-1056 is indicated to be superior to the Chain Lightning, while the Pancake is indicated to be inferior. So let's take a look and see why that may be. Alright, so looking at the P-1056 first, we see that it has 4 20mm Hispano cannons. Those cannons do 130 damage per second, which is not as powerful as the 37mm cannons on the Chain Lightning, although they do have a better rate of fire, and they have a significantly better effective firing range, 556 meter firing range for the Chain Lightning versus the 780 meter firing range for the P-1056. However, the P-1056's armaments do not stop there. It also has two 40mm Rolls-Royce cannons, and those do 240 damage per second, which is actually greater than the damage output of the 37mm cannons on the Chain Lightning. Looking at the Pancake, the Pancake has four 20mm cannons, which do 170 damage per second. They do have a very high rate of fire of 700 rounds per minute and a long firing range of 800 rounds per minute. I have to say that I really do like the 20mm cannons. I know that in the stats they are indicated to be inferior to the 37mm cannons of the Chain Lightning, but I think there are different factors to take into consideration, mainly the strong rate of fire of the cannons on the Pancake. Looking at bombs and rockets, the Chain Lightning is significantly inferior in that regard because it does not have bombs or rockets. In terms of survivability, the Chain Lightning has greater hit points and is therefore indicated to be more survivable than either the P-1056 or the Pancake. Top speed at best altitude, the Chain Lightning is not as fast as the P-1056 or the Pancake. 15 kilometers per hour for the P-1056 and 30 kilometers per hour for the Pancake. Average time to turn 360 degrees. The Lightning is 1 second superior to the turning rate of the P-1056, whereas the Pancake is 0.8 seconds superior to the Chain Lightning. The Pancake is one of the more maneuverable heavy fighters. In terms of stall speed, the P-1056 stalls sooner than the Chain Lightning, whereas the Pancake has an excellent stall speed of 60 kilometers per hour. In terms of altitude, the optimum altitude for the Chain Lightning is superior to that of both the P-1056 and the Pancake by 500 meters. The rate of climb for the Chain Lightning is 22.8 meters per second superior to that of the P-1056, whereas the Pancake is slightly superior to the Chain Lightning by 14.6 meters per second. Moving on to the Me-262, one of my favorite German aircraft. In terms of gun armaments, the Chain Lightning is considered to be superior by a small margin than the Me-262, at least according to the stats. We'll take a look at that. The 262 has four 30mm cannons, which do 200 damage per second with a rate of fire of 240 rounds per minute, and an effective firing range that is longer than that of the Chain Lightning. So in terms of the damage per second, the cannons on the Chain Lightning and the cannons on the Me-262 are identical, whereas the rate of fire for the Me-262's cannons are greater than the 37mm cannons on the chain lightning. So if the cannons of the Messerschmitt ME-262 do the same damage per second as the chain lightning's cannons, but the ME-262's cannons have a higher rate of fire, why is it said, according to these stats, that the chain lightning is superior to the ME-262? And that's really hard to explain. We are talking 37 millimeters versus 30 millimeters, but statistically speaking, the 30 millimeters outperform the 37 millimeters. So I don't know if maybe Wargaming can explain that, or if there's some sort of factor there that is not readily apparent. Moving on to bombs and rockets, the chain lightning having no bombs or rockets, the ME-262 is going to certainly be superior in that. The ME-262 has bombs if you want to equip them. Has a 5,000 damage bomb that does its damage within a 75 meter radius, and it has 2 of those. It also can equip 24 salvo fired rockets, which are can be effective against aircraft. Looking at survivability, the chain lightning has greater hit points and is therefore said to be more survivable than the ME-262. The other factor here is that the chain lightning has a rear turret, and that's also a benefit that it has over all the aircraft that we have talked about in this comparison. Having the rear turret gives it a defensive capability that just isn't in other aircraft of this type. Top speed at best altitude goes to the ME-262 by 126 kilometers per hour. Average time to turn 360 degrees. However, surprisingly goes to the chain lightning, which is approximately 1 second faster in the turn than the ME-262. In terms of stall speed, the ME-262 will stall prior to the chain lightning. Optimum altitude is the same for these two aircraft. However, the rate of climb for the chain lightning is significantly superior to that of the ME-262 by 20.8 meters per second. Alright, so I hope that helps put the chain lightning in context with other Tier 8 heavy fighters. So, having reviewed my build for this aircraft, having gone over its specifications, and having compared it to other Tier 8 heavy fighters, let's head into a sortie and see how it actually performs. Okay, pilots, we are going to be fighting over the Alpine Gambit Moment of Truth map. And we will head first to the garrison. And then from there, we will depend upon what the enemy is doing. There may be some ground attack aircraft trying to hit this mining plant, in which case we will try to stop them.
Show me what you can do, pilots. Let's roll.
Alright, so we have a 30-second engine boost. So I'll be zooming up here, trying to take out this air defense aircraft. have loved to have gotten that shot in, but gun's overheated. So let's see what is working on our plant over here. So whatever it was just crashed. So back around here. Might be able to convert this map here. Let's see what we can do with this. So this plant in the middle. No, not enough. Oh, there we go. Took out one of them. Not really a ground attack aircraft, but hey, give it the old college try, right? Got another ground attack aircraft coming in. And ground attack aircraft number 2. Dropping bombs, so we'll get clear of those. Just getting some distance here so we have some time to shoot on the target. Alright, hopefully that's it. Oh, got a fighter coming in here. Got our only hope here. There we go. Just barely. Thinking any aircraft though is probably going to get us. Don't see us getting out of that. Nope. Hey, it was a valiant effort, right? So we'll head back over here and defend the garrison. Looks like it's under attack by a ground attack aircraft, probably. Actually, it looks like there's a fighter there. Low health fighter. Unless we miss, we should be pretty easy pickings. There we go. Let's see what's going on over here. Got some ground attack aircraft here working the scene, so we really need to hold them off from getting the plant. That could be the difference between winning or losing. I've got a multi-roll coming in here. See if we can line up here. So what we need to do now is get some distance from that multi-roll. cannot outmaneuver it, so we've got to get some distance and then we can swing around. Uh-oh. Another heavy fighter coming in. We can get this multi-roll before it takes us. Nope. F-7F, that's a beautiful aircraft. Unless it's shooting at you. But hey, at least we got shot down prior to the squall line, so that's good.
That's it. There's no way to break through for you now. You're on your own.
Okay.
Keep it up. Victory is almost ours.
So we've got a low health fighter here. Spitfire. We'll see if we can't take it out. Yak here. Doesn't take much with these cannons. And here's the F-7F that shot us up last time. Maybe we can try to get revenge here. Let's see if we can swing around here and finish them off.
I'm proud of you, pilot. Head back home.
Okay, so very good. Victory. Flying start. Hat trick. We got one of everything. Rear cover for the fighter we shot down with the turret. Effective fire. Subjugator. And rank 1 on the team. Head back to the hangar. Take a look at the after action report. So I think one of the keys to victory there was holding off the enemy ground attack aircraft for so long at that one objective. Alright, so 8 enemy aircraft destroyed, over 4,000 damage in aerial targets, over 3,000 in damage to ground targets, over 10,000 combat points. So an excellent result there. That really showcased this aircraft's strengths. Okay, folks, so that is the XP-58 Chain Lightning. I hope you've really enjoyed this video, and I hope that if you get an opportunity to fly the Chain Lightning, that you have great success